And that guy was only like about 18 or 20. Why do I think he was quite young? Yeah.
No, but
he was definitely like one of those Trump followers, believers.
You know what's funny, being I bet you want to see that bitch go like, that lefty code, they deserve that. That was foreigner. That was foreigner. You won't see us. You'll actually hear her making those excuses. That weren't us. That was them. Set up. That was them.
For Esau. Another thing about him, well, that's been bloody
what the fuck?
mentally subnormal.
What's going on with the world
rather
today?
Evil, but
Do you know what? That reminded me of that thing in Boston and a couple other instances. There was one in Paris. There's been loads of instances where people... London as well, where a man used a vehicle as a weapon and mowed people down. Like, this is bullshit. And let me ask you a question. I know the answer to this question already. I bet that wasn't put in the news, was it?
Do you know what? There's a kind of like sorry, that incident was actually reported. And what we have is we've got yeah, definitely. I'm going to show it to you now. Just waiting for it to upload. The laptop is slow.
So wait. Listen. The stuff's happening in your country has been reported in nearly every major newspaper around the world because of what's happening in Sweden and France and other countries. People are noticing a rise in the far right. So I find that very hard to believe. I haven't seen it on New York Times, because New York Times do report on Irish news, or even TMZ would report on that. They would, because it's innocent people being taken out, or attempted murder of innocent people being taken out. I mean, that man could hit children, for fuck's sake. I believe the left, they like to bring... I want to mean the left, sorry. I will rephrase that. I believe people like to bring their children to protest, don't they?
Yes, they do. And they're actually... Esau, these people are bringing their babies in buggies to these protests. In fact, they are promoting it as the women of Ireland protesting against refugees because they want a future for their children. Because apparently refugees are fucking it up for everybody.
Why don't they get a job and look after them and better themselves and better their children? Like, that's what everyone's meant to do. Like, or just keep your nose to yourself. Like, I mean, this is why you'll never see me saying we need to save the children, we need to save the world. Listen, look after your fucking selves. We've got people out there who do that for us. They get paid for that shit as well. Why do you want to get off your fucking, out of your high horses and be like, I want to protect? It doesn't make no fucking sense. Especially if you are fucked. Like, I bet you any money, all those bitches you're talking about, they will have those buns in their heads and they look like trash and probably stink and have low education. But yeah, they want to blame immigrants for stuff that is not even affecting them. I can't stand white people sometimes. Seriously, I can't stand racist white people sometimes. It actually gets on my nerves. I have to be real. It actually pisses me off.
Oh, no, come on. They're like...
The race.
You know what? Yeah, there was a video that I watched earlier this morning, and the woman who took the video, she's talking to her friend throughout. Oh, and by the way, D Wall was at that protest. D Wall is quite a famous.
Oh, she gets run down. Oh, she gets licked down and killed at one of these protests. That'd be funny if someone aimed a car at her. It was like, ah! She's well underneath the wheels.
Fuck's sake. I'm actually amazed she's not in prison, D-Wall, because, she is the same woman.
She's a woman. That's why.
She's the same woman who groomed a child. Yeah, it's unbelievable. She groomed that child. Remember I told you about a little kid called Caden? She'd been grooming him to go out and, speak outside the GPO.
What was the name, Caden?
And, by the way, Caden was the name of the boy. He's probably about 15 now, but he was only 12 years of age at the time.
That name sounds like trouble. I'm going to go be honest.
Yeah. But D-Wall is a friend of that person that I kind of...
Calm down.
But anyway.
Calm down.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that incident, did you know where it was reported?
Where?
The Breitbart didn't report on it.
What's that?
Breitbart is a kind of a right-wing publication.
And what did they say? How are they reporting it? The left did it themselves. Just smear the right.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. Okay, so I'm just reading the last paragraph because it's the conclusion of the whatever. But they were talking about, obviously, the protests. Anyway, multiple videos allegedly depicting the incident, one of which was live streamed to the social media platform YouTube, soon appeared online, with some people being recorded as suggesting that some people may have been injured. However, in a statement given to Breitbart Europe regarding the incident, Ireland's National Police Force and Garda Síochána said that while they are investigating an incident in the area that took place last night, there have been no injuries reported in relation to it.
That's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. I mean, it is a good thing, but I mean, it still happened. Like, someone tried to kill people, like, with a vehicle. Like, that can't be ignored because, no one died.
A man in his 60s was arrested in connection with this incident and was taken to Coolock Garda Station. He has since been charged and was station bailed to appear at the Criminal Courts of Justice Dublin on Friday the 24th of February. So we'll find out what the hell was going on there. Yeah, it's a Breitbart fucking hell. And so Dublin Live kind of reports things as they happen in the city. But it'll be very short articles.
Well, I doubt her name and shame him.
Oh, let's see. So this is dated the 1st of February. Gardaí have said investigations are ongoing into the incident, with the man set to appear in court at a later date.
I know no one died, but he still should be remanded in custody because he can go and do that again. That's dangerous. Let's be real here. You do something like that, I mean, he's so dumb, he could run over his other friends. You know what I mean? The people that he was like, that's how dumb he is. Like that guy who did that thing in Washington, he ended up running over one or two of his people as well.
Yeah.
You know what? My fear is for you guys now. And I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
If this keeps going on, one of those men there accused of being, fit for war and battle and all that shit will actually bring war to you. They'll fight back. Any man will fight back. And if there's a group of them together, all they got to do is pick up a bunch of weapons and kick it off. They got nothing to lose, remember? Yes, it's true, they can't go anywhere, but they got nothing to lose, so which means whatever comes their way, they're prepared to deal with it and protect themselves at all costs. But if that means people getting hurt, then what do you think is going to happen, you idiots? And not only that, bleeding, you're forgetting half of these people have come from countries that actually are pretty bad. So they've seen some shit.
They've been traumatized.
Yeah, they've seen some shit. So if one of them was to turn around and say, I don't know, do something drastic, I'm not going to give full detail on, what would you expect them to do?
Yeah, I mean, one wonders what could happen. I mean, my God, obviously they're going to be angry. They're going to, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to feel, what the fuck did we do to these people? But they actually protested outside a place where these people were staying. They were shouting and screaming as, the refugees looked out the windows, shouting, get out,
Check your messages quickly.
Okay, sorry.
For a second, typing.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Doctor and they get signed for a bit, don't you?
Yeah, no, at the end of the day, this is where it gets tacky. Right. It just, if you know what I mean by that message, by the way, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, look, where it's getting tackier is that, like, it's going to, like, look, on one side, I can't actually say it. I just want to say it. I've got to be horrible. I've got to be straight to the point. Because I do like to look at both sides of the argument. On one hand, what they're saying about the immigration, blah, blah, all the policies, bringing over and then being war cabals. When these things happen in the United Kingdom, we just get people over, and mostly, the truth is, when you see them, it mostly is women and children, and men as well. But if you want to look at the state of the United Kingdom in the last, 25 years or so, the way it's changed, the way the violence is up to ante a little bit. I mean, yes, there is not a problem, but there does seem to be people from other ethnic groups who pretty much came there causing problems, i.e. Somalis and all sorts of people, like, because Somalis gangs are running rife, but they came from war-torn countries, and I always used to remind my boys back in the day, when you're fucking with them man, remember, them man saw some shit back in the day, like, before they came here, so you got to remember that. So it's nothing for them to see, a couple holes in the person or like different, so you got to remember that, what their eyes have seen, they can't unsee. So if you're pushing them there, and they go there, what do you expect? So when you talk about violence here and what's happening in the United Kingdom, I can see where, okay, maybe there's a few people from certain groups or communities that are a bit fucked and tapped. Yes.
Yeah.
Is that down to immigration? I don't know. I put it down to the way they were treated in the beginning. Like, and then having to assimilate and adapt. And some of them don't want to adapt. Some of them just want to stay rowdy. Like, and they will lash out. They will do things that, people in natives that I would agree with. Now, I see it from their point of view where they're going, no, this is happening, that's happening. But I won't say let it happen first. I just say I can see what they're saying. But in saying that, that doesn't necessarily mean what they're doing is right. I mean, if they were a bit nice about things, maybe they'll be a bit nice about things too. But I'm going to be honest, I've seen some people in different countries act in a certain way in England, which even I've been like, you can't talk to us like that. Like, what the fuck are you doing here? I've got to be real. I've seen it. Like, I wouldn't say, oh, you got to go home there, but I'll be like, nah, that's not how we behave here. Like, what are you doing? Like, type of thing. Like, some of what Torque was saying about, he can see I can see that point too, but it's the way they articulate, the way they present it. Like, they do come across as racist, and not being funny, it is most of the low IQs and the people from the lower class who are actually have more an issue, because they're the ones who are getting lumped with them, but their ways already are tapped. So just like the people coming in are tapped, they're already tapped already, and they actually live there, but they're already tapped in their head. The things they say and do, like, I'll never forget when I witnessed a kid say something that he should not have said, that I'm like, bear in mind, I'm doing something, and I can tell when that's your parents speaking through you. I can tell that's not you. You didn't learn that from this class, or you didn't learn that from these people. You learned that from home. And that's worrying.
Talking about something on the phone?
Like, coming in saying stuff like, you're like, well, what the hell, where did that come from? And you're like, Jesus Christ, and it's regurgitating for your parents' tell you, that's insane. I can't, that's why I'm a big promoter on people free thinking and think for yourself. And when you get to a certain age, you don't listen to mum and dad no more. But that means all the bullshit you heard when you were growing up, ignore it all, because it doesn't mean anything. You have your own mind now, you can think for yourself. You're over 18, you don't need someone to think for you or tell you what to do. You can literally decide for yourself, do I want to be around these people, or do I want to listen to this conversation, or do I want to go, or do I want to do this job? That's what I'm about. So when I see people say,
what? Oh, you're talking about someone on the phone? Who is? Yeah.
And stuff like, I don't want immigrants here. Like, why are you saying that? Who told you that?
Talking about?
Like, where'd you hear that from?
Yeah.
Like, and let's be real, who told that? Who put that forward into your head? Are they bothering you? And I would say to, like, native people, are they bothering you? Are they doing anything to you? Be honest. You just don't look at them because you've got hate in your heart, and that's it. And that's it, it's pure and simple. And because also you're on the lower end of the scale and you're looking around you, all you can see is that. Where I go, I don't see these people. I'm not trying to say, like, I don't see foreign people, because I do. I'm saying I don't see what they're seeing because it's not in my community. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to brag about it, I'm just going like, I don't see the whole, yes, when I do walk around, I can see colours, and I like that. But the attitudes of people, like, I mean, one thing I noticed about that little bitch that I know you don't want to talk about, on her thing, on her channel, all you see is clips of stuff, and it's like, rapists, this, that, and the other, and you're like, where's the full context? I'm just hearing people say this, but I'm not seeing any proof. Back up with an article. Just because you say it's true doesn't mean it's true. You're a no liar, Gandalf. Yeah. A no liar. So how can you believe anything you say, especially put up your channel, and we all know you're far-right dickhead? Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's about whipping up hatred. It's about whipping up fear. It's fear-mongering. And that is what's happened. And, like, yesterday there were 2,000 people protesting on the streets. And what they did was they went to media outlets to protest outside the media outlets. Now, I don't even understand what that was about. Whatever their fucking thinking is. And they're planning on doing a whole pile of protests. But it's like, they've whipped up a fervour, and they...
It's getting bad.
Yeah, but 2000. But you know what? There was a counter protest, anti-racism protest.
And how many people were at that?
There was 4 to 500 people at that one.
So basically, if it kicked off, those people are outnumbered, basically.
Yeah, they would have been outnumbered. Yeah, but don't forget, on the other protest, it's all women with buggies.
Which, not being funny, is actually a ploy to, so if the other side, so basically they could throw rocks at you, but the other side, because they're, got a bit of morals, they shouldn't and probably wouldn't throw rocks back within fear of hitting their children. Makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Using them as weapons.
It's incredible, isn't it? And even a symbol, what they're doing is using, I think we have oh God, I'll have to show it later on. Just to show you how fucking sick these people are. Twisted, how they like to subvert things, whatever.
They're tapped.
Have I shown it to you? Yeah.
No, they're tapped. People are tapped. I'm being serious. They're actually tapped. Like, that's how I see it. They're fucking tapped, man.
Yeah.
Oh, we look at that. I've been kicked out of another group, but you don't believe it or not.
Oh.
I was getting
wow.
left, right, and centre.
My God.
Yeah, I'm hated. I'm very hated.
I know, but like, what was the reason why you were? Because you were. It wasn't. What did you do that incurred this?
I don't know, but look at that. I'll tell the truth. Look what I just sent you. That's disturbing. That is disturbing. That is actually disturbing.
Oh yeah, sorry, I've just spotted that AV is asking, is there a link to yesterday's protest? I'll tell you what, AV, I'll try and get you one very shortly.
It's not nice, man. I won't go lie to you. Like, it's not good. Yeah, but it's only a small country. A small island. And when you see stuff like that happening, rah.
That's crazy. That particular, hold on. Look back to you.
It's
yeah,
like
that particular. You should show that.
Yeah, well, but it's like what Young Spray was saying. My country can't even take over Walthamstow. He's like, but he gets the whole what Tommy said. He's like, if a bunch of people would come to his country and try and take it over, he wouldn't have it either. But as a guest or someone who's actually made England his home, he gets it. Like, a lot of people don't realise, you see when a black person says that, especially in 2023, they're not being a coconut. They're just saying how they see it. And plus, like, if you're talking to a black person who's been, whose family's been in England for donkey's years, they're going to see things, unfortunately, the way others see it. And that's why I don't want to say people like Tommy, because I'm going to stop tarring Tom Robertson with that brush anymore. He's a dickhead, yes, but I'm being serious. The way he presents himself on Raspberry, I don't see that far-right Tommy anymore. I just see a man who's just making noise and wants to report and shit. That's what I'm hearing. Like, you can't tell me any different, because I don't see him with a bag of man, doing what he used to do. But, like, I just don't see anyone. I'm trying to think of another figure. Who's on a political? That little bastard. How you call him? Not back pussy on those now. What's his name now? Ralph's friend.
Sorry.
Yeah, Ralph's friend. People like that. Yeah, it's the way they deliver the message and the way they present themselves. Like, they don't realize. They're saying what they're saying, but they know they're not going to go down there and do anything. And that's why I do love these little protests when you see people online commanding their followers. Similar to what Ralph used to do. And they go and do their bidding for them. It's a beautiful job. It's like trolling visually. That's what it is. It's visual manipulation. Because you're literally manipulating people, but I'm seeing it on screen and the world can see it too. Like, it's insane when you watch people and see what they do. It's just like you have to kind of marvel at it and go, wow. That's why a lot of people, again, I'll keep throwing back to the Young Spray thing. When he kept saying, Tommy's a boss. Yeah, he's a boss. Like, he's sitting down there making demands. Yeah, man's like, and buy somebody. He doesn't even have to get out for battle. Doesn't need to get down for battle. He just tells his troops where to go. He just tells Varro, Vega, and Sagat and what to do, and they go and do it for them. and they have the shadow law soldiers there ready to go and do that bidding. It is pure class, I can't lie. That is something that I clocked here. Raspet's a little bit jealous of Tommy of. I mean, Raspet has to literally motivate 200 people, whereas Tommy's all got to do is a live stream. You know what I mean? A 2-second video. Everyone turn up down here, and they'll turn up. That kind of pull is sick still, I can't even lie. It is admirable. I've always said, like, it's always Hitler-esque, because Hitler had a bag of people, you know, do the most atrocities around to US and America until they stopped him. And Hitler didn't once fly one plane and drop no bombs. He stayed in his room directing shit. Yeah, but it's see, for me, I marvel the mind in it. Like, when I see something like that, I'm like, rah, how'd you do that? I'm not gonna lie, how'd you do that? Easy. He just feeds people, the stupid people, what they want to hear, and they run with it. Like, it's insane. It's insanity when you see someone do that. You're like, how are you even doing this? Like, explain your magic.
I know how it's happening. It's like, I think they deliberately use emotive language, and they it's the repetitive, repeating the same lie over and over again.
But why do stupid people, I mean, like, let's be real, I can't speak for a stupid person because I'm not stupid, but why is it that people like Camdorf or Pricky Mortal or idiots, when they hear, like, I mean, look, those idiots, were brainwashed by a brown man into saying the most racist shit and you know, drive their force harder online and offline. Like, a brown man made them do that. Let's be real. It wasn't a fucking white man.
Turek is here, by the way. Sorry, Turek, I didn't see you till now.
No, it's okay. Afternoon, everyone.
Welcome.
How's everyone doing?
Good, bro. We just see some disturbing footage, yeah.
Serious?
But someone tried to run down people in Ireland and some protesting. You didn't hear about the news, though, did you? I mean, like, that's why it's a bit fucked up. You're like, wait, what? Someone tried to do what? Wait. Anytime someone tries to tell that in England, we hear about it instantly. It's all over the world.
But it's funny you say that, though. It's funny you say that. We don't really even get no good news, like, from Ireland, like things happening in Ireland, as you say that.
Yeah, we do. I don't want to say it was good news, but we got that murder.
Not good news, but you know what I mean. Like, just some real news, like something's happening in Ireland, or it's very, like the news nowadays. It's literally like you have to search like for your own news, like what do you want to find really and truly now, because like it's just so sort of saturated what they want to pump out, and it's on like so many channels of the same thing. But it's literally is a lot of things happening in like even Ireland or Wales. Like I never hear nothing really what happened in Wales or even Scotland in a sense. I don't even think we even hear news in this country anymore, to be honest.
No, if someone gets shot down, murdered like differently, we hear about. I mean, there was 3 Detroit rappers that were killed in a warehouse, the house. Did you hear about that?
To be honest, I've stopped looking at all of them things. I'm just
this made every paper like, because 3 guys were taken, and one of them was performing at the nightclub that they was.
What, in England?
No, in Detroit. 3 rappers.
Over there, that's like normal news. That's like telling the weather.
No, but right, it is. But 3 men getting murdered at one time though. That's insanity.
Wow.
Like, they brought them into a house. Yeah. So first of all, there was a gig they were meant to be at. They didn't reach there. They cancelled it. So the setup, they got to the place and were taken out in a van somewhere and brought to a house and murdered. Like that. Like, I heard that and I was like, wait, what? And that wasn't even end of sentence that told me that. That wasn't a fucking news. And I was like, Jesus, 3 guys. Like, they do report on the serious. I mean, they do report on the serious crime. Like, we always get a death penalty, death notices in America. When someone's getting murdered, we always get in the Daily Mail. They always say we're killing this person.
Probably the Daily Mail, probably. But really and truly now, you've given me an idea, sort of certain things that we should do. Maybe on bleedings, if you fancied it. Like, we get some news from like Ireland, a bit of news from different parts of the UK, and like we sort of make our own news channel, but like certain little discussions we can have like news what maybe the average people in the UK won't hear, or Irish people won't hear from the UK in a sense.
No.
We can definitely compare.
Stupid thing.
Yeah.
Because I would love to hear news from Ireland, to be honest. Like, I would really like to hear that, like what's going on in Ireland. And
another place that I do, like, I got family, but because I'm proper into that Florida like scene, bruv, like,
yeah, me
like,
too.
yeah, bro, do you hear about what was it Spartan God, Wiz the Wizard?
No, I haven't heard that one.
Wiz the Wizard, but they fucking dropped his body off, like on the lawn outside his house, like pretty much, like I always say pretty much, they decapacitated him, they chopped him out of machetes, and there's a fucking cemetery at the end of his rascal street. I mean, at the end of it, his lawn's here, there's another house, there's a cemetery.
Oh God!
They brought and when the papers, they kind of like butchered it a bit because when I heard that, I was like, well, I'm gonna go onto social media and get what's happened, mate. And then people say no, it was chopped up and left there. His head was here. They threw his back, and you're thinking, you know what it was? It was Haitians that did it, bro.
I was about to say, what's his name? Like, what's his real name?
Well, he's a light skin. I think he's a half Spanish son, but half Spanish, half black. But what happened?
No, but there's light skin Asians as well.
Yeah, there are, but what is the Haitian gangs here? They're in control of the rap groups over there because they're like the main gang over there. Like, so like any rapper or label will usually sign.
There's a few gangs over there. There's Yardis over there. There's Haitians.
Okay.
There's all different demographics in Florida. Even
the
white people.
the Haitians, they scare the Cubans, but like, and the Cubans, like I would say, they control the drug game. But the Haitians are terrifying them because literally they're doing their black magic. And they're removing people's limbs. They like what they did with the Wizard. Yeah, there was a hit on him. They could have shot him up, they just chose not to. Instead, they decided to use knives. The prostitute from Big Brother, the one that set away Rooney.
I put the tea bags on top of the couch on the Bannatyne Pie.
I don't know who that is.
She's actually a dickhead.
The Bannatyne Pie's behind you.
No one's special, but she's annoying. Like, I get why he would get her.
The Bannatyne Pie and the tea bags are behind you on top of the couch.
I get it, but to be like,
no, I said they're on the top of the couch. Bannatyne Pie tea bags, right, yeah. I didn't know if you'd hear me, that's all. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, later on when we have them.
Fluently.
That makes a bit more sense now. See, some of Andrew Tate's crimes could be connected to that shit.
So like he was a lone wolf as well, and didn't really bother with like being. But it's like it's weird.
Oh, I got it here, yeah.
Like, even like one time we seen Bearman's had bandanas.
I pass it to you. You bring the.
It's probably not too big now.
Pine.
But like, remember that time when certain men had bandanas and shit, or little colours and shit like that.
Sure do.